Did the Maple Leafs miss an opportunity with Nikita Zadorov, and is their third line good enough to stick long term? Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the Leafs. Rob Wong joined alongside by Toronto Sun Maple Leafs writers Lance Hornby and Terry Koshan. And guys, one of the defensemen on the trade block that many had seen as a fit for the Leafs is now a Vancouver Canuck. Nikita Zadorov dealt for a third and fifth round pick from the Flames. Terry, we know that the Leafs would have needed Calgary to retain some salary to get it done, and that's partly why it didn't happen. But in your opinion, do you think this was a missed opportunity for the Leafs to help their blue line, or do you think there are better fits out there?
I think there are better fits. Zadorov would have been a depth guy, and I think calling it a missed opportunity, Rob, is a little bit of a stretch. I mean, yeah, would he have helped to a degree? But he's certainly not going to single-handedly come in and solve the ails on the blue line right now. I think the bigger target for Brad Treliving is Chris Tanev, and we'll see where that goes. Apparently some thought across the league that the Leafs could be able to lock him up longer term if they do get him being a UFA next summer. But yeah, I don't think people should be losing sleep over the fact that Zadorov went to Vancouver and not to the Leafs. It certainly doesn't shut the defense door for Brad Treliving, and I would assume that something with someone will get done, if not, in the next few weeks, and certainly by the deadline in March.
I'd have to say it. A lot of people are living in a fantasy world if they think the Maple Leafs are going to get, someone like that, or maybe an improvement of it. There's that kind of myopia in Toronto that the Leafs are the only team out there looking for help on defense. We all know that is the case almost 365 days a year at free agency time, at the trade deadline. And certainly now that we're in that witching hour after American Thanksgiving, when teams are looking to upgrade. So they're not that they will stick long term with the patchwork defense they have, but it's good that Timothy Liljegren is skating again, and maybe he comes back pretty soon. Connor Timmins, as expected, has made the return to play. So we'll have to see. Not that they're not going to stop looking, but I wouldn't expect any kind of a big deal simply because they're hamstrung by the salary cap, and everybody else is looking for the same kind of help as well.
Yeah, a lot of things working against the Leafs there, Lance, as you said. But Terry, your thoughts as well?
Well, I think they're going to get somebody, and I think if they can figure out a way to have a team take on some salary for them and then throw a chip into that, that's what's going to happen, I think. And I think that's what they want to do with Tanev, but we'll have to see. I mean, like Lance is saying, it's not like the Leafs are operating in a vacuum here. So, but I think they'll get somebody eventually, and even with Liljegren coming back, as much as he will help, there still has to be an upgrade here.
So we go from the back end to the front end, Lance, and the Leafs' third line of Robertson, Domi, and Järnkrok has been a great story so far this season. And despite their successes, I think there are still some question marks about the size of some of the players on the line. And, Sheldon Keefe, of course, likes to tinker from time to time. Do you think that trio is sustainable long-term for this Maple Leafs team?
Well, it's unique because really the three of them, maybe with the exception of Domi, are not very well-known players around the league, known for their consistency. I think Järnkrok is a great, depth player. He seems to help every line he's on, and that's certainly the situation with this line. Max Domi a lot better in the middle, as everyone has indicated. He has a lot more room to go there. Nick Robertson still plays a little bit reckless in terms of leaving himself open, I think, to big hits and that kind of thing. And we know his injury history. So it's a very interesting dynamic with those three. End of the day, it's all right for now, but I think you will see something happening. I mean, there's Bobby McMahon, who's fighting for fourth line duties. You've seen Gregor play quite well on the fourth line. Perhaps he deserves to move up, and they always have David Kampf play in the middle there. So right now, an interesting dynamic. But remember, he only has one goal, and that took him 21 or 22 games to get. So I think there's a lot of room for improvement on line as well. Certainly offensive production wise.
Well, the way I say it is this way. Järnkrok is a third liner. I know that he's helped out top six, but that's not where he belongs. So he's not going anywhere off that third spot or the right wing spot, third line. Domi has made a good adjustment to center. Do you want to see him score more? I think so, but he's distributing the puck nicely. So I don't know that he necessarily goes back to the wing. I don't want to say that this combination hinges all on Nick Robertson and what he does, but certainly through the first 11 games, he's made the adjustments and realizing he doesn't need to score every time he goes on the ice. in a perfect world, is there a bigger player on that third line? Yeah, there is, but I don't get the sense that that's a priority for Treliving to try to make that line any bigger through an acquisition. Nor, as we were talking about in the first segment, would he necessarily have the financial means to do so, especially if he does get a defenseman. So Yarncrock's a guy that's not going anywhere. I think, as far as Kampf and Gregor go, they're fourth liners. I do like Gregor's speed though, and I think with the bit of offensive touch he has, maybe he would get a look there at some point. But it seems like Sheldon Keefe is happy right now to see where this goes with this line. And like I said, I think a lot of it rides on what Robertson does and whether he can be consistent with this. And we've seen through 11 games that he has matured that way. Like I say, he's not trying to force a lot of things. There is some chemistry there with with Domi. But it's I like it. But you need a little more defensive responsibility, Robertson and Domi for sure. But I think Sheldon Keefe's going to give it some time to work out some kinks here.
I would quickly add that if Ryan Reeves right now is your extra forward, there's nobody really pressing from behind at this stage. So that just lending to Terry's point, no reason to touch it now because nobody's really pushing, especially on the right wing side, to come in.
Yeah, it's a little thin up front at the moment. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below or send us an email at TorontoMapleLeafs@postmedia.com. For Lance Hornby and Terry Koshan, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.